Hi, I hope you are okay. We are really near to the holidays, so I hope that you enjoy them, those festivities. And also, if you are not going to go out, just um, don't forget that you can celebrate with you. Be conscious all your goals, all your steps up and your steps down, right? And overcome all those situations that happened in the past. And those give you those new tools that you can st- start to apply to a new process, right? Okay, the video of today is about to rescue or remember um, tools that we learn in the past or in life before that the one that we have as today. And maybe you see a lot of movement that we are going to have a lot of challenge for 2023, and this is because we are entering a process that our challenge will be more frequently, and the advice is that we need to be prepared for that. And in order to be prepared for them, we need to remember what are the tools that we already have, what are the tools that we know that we have and we don't use frequently, and what are those that we have in that backpack maybe that we carry as a difficult uh, process that we are not closing yet. And the tools are there, but we are not really sure how to use them, or we are not conscious that we have those tools in that backpack, right? Because we think that was situations that happened in the past and not are really important for the now, or that are open those cycles that I don't have give me the or I don't give me the time to close them, to check them and see what was the lesson there and what's the tool that lesson give me to use it now. I'm not really conscious about how to use it, right? How to bring in my new reality and my new performance in this life, right? So maybe you start to see that our time is running more fast than before, and this is because we are entering a new process, and our earth is entered like a new connectivity with the origin or the original. So what is going too fast because the original is give us give us more signals that is present, and start to do some echoes in different areas like economy, democracy, like the football champion that we already passed, and the mondial and the worldwide play, right? We see a lot of topics about that. The new year or the next year is coming with a lot of strategic points that we need to review. Maybe that we need to be more conscious about ourselves, about how we administrate our around, how we connect with others. Maybe we need to get more adaptability process to the changes, right? So we start to listen a lot of background to us and around us, but the most important it is how we connect with them, with this situation, how we reference in this process, if we reference as a positive or as a negative, right? But my recommendation is just reference without feeling, without fantasy, and without side of the balance, right? Just in the middle to be really focused or where is showing me the situation. So the first recommendation here is to look the situations outside that box, outside that picture that you can see it as a movie scenes, and you can identify what are the characters there, where is the scene developing, and about it is, or what is trying to tell you, right? Without emotion, without feel that, it will be something really uh, heavy to pass. It is always the feeling that it will be too hard to develop that process or leave that situation, right? But if we take out those feelings, I don't mean that you don't feel, but we take that excess of fantasy or romanticism about the situation, and just see it as situation, as maybe uh, a lecture or a history in a book that is just tell you a story about something, without excess of feeling and without excess of compromising ourselves in there. We maybe can see what is happening there, right? We can see the truth of why it is important to leave that situation, and what is the tool that is not really an easy form to find, but it's there. Like the other video that I explained you, that is like a play that you have some bonus or some tools that are blocked, and when you do some activity they are unblocked, right? And you can see it now. The maybe it is in the scenes, in that sense, sorry, the tool, but it is background, or it is just covered with a belt that we couldn't see that the tool is there, but we know that the tool is there. So it is just take that process and unblock that, right? mm, and for this, and the two words that we use it as guidance for living those new challenge, and that challenge that will continue, you end one and enter to other, you end one and enter to other, that it looks that never ends, because the time is running fast now. So we have that perception that you end one topic and enter another one, and you already passed that and enter a new one, right? And the words that we need to be more comfortable with them, it will be flexibility, uh, about how we reference about us to that situation, and self-reference, right? And how we adapt us at new situations. That will be the three words that we are going to use more in the since the since this week, enter to the end of the year and the rest of the next year, because we are entered a lot of challenge, and maybe you are already working on some of them. Then maybe you say, but my holidays was looking really good, and now I have different challenges that I don't think that I was, or I need to pass for the next year, right? That I need to leave them now, that I don't imagine that I need to pass through this situation. But maybe it is an alert for the coming ones. And don't be really afraid or have a fear about what it is coming. It is just the form that we need to adapt to the new situation. If it takes you more time to be adaptable of some changes, or it is a lot of resistance to do some changes in yourself to be adaptable to the new situation, it is going to be more pain for you. And it will be really difficult for you in a state to get the most easily from those new tools. It will be really painful, because you have a lot of blocks that you are start to put in the middle between your lesson and the tool that you are unblocking. You even that is unblock, you enter more blocks, then you need to take them down before you get the new tools. So it is important that you be more open on about how you need to adapt and change your flexibility about doing for overcome those challenges in a time that it will not require you a lot of resources and extreme um, time and extreme changes for doing that. And that's why they try to do that. Maybe those lessons you already have it, but maybe you don't get the conclusion for them. And since you don't get the conclusion, you don't see the tools that you already have. So they bring you the opportunity to remember them. And when you start living some situation and that situation remember you in the back about the previous one, look first to that previous one and see how they are similar, or how they reference to the new one. What are the topics that are the same? And remember, in the past you don't close yet that situation, but you know how to close it. That solution will be the same that you need to bring to the new challenge. And there is a tool, as easy as you can see it. Not easy to perform, not easy to give it to the practice, but easy to focus what is the result or what is the step that I need to do for move on through this challenge, right? To throughout that challenge that maybe I think it will be bigger than what it is, right? But at least you have the solution. If you want to practice it and do it, it will be great. But if not, this lesson you will enter it with the other one in your backpack and continue carrying it on the next challenge that the life bring to you to learn that. But just remember, if challenge will be bigger, bigger and bigger until you recognize it, until you recognize uh, your role in that situation, and maybe it will be the first time that you try to say no and start to put limits in your relationships with others, and start to put yourself as first in reference of what is next in your life. And that doesn't mean that you're not be care about who is around to you, but in order to care about those lower ones, first you need to love yourself, right? So if you don't love yourself, how you can love the others, or how you can help the others if you don't help yourself? So it will be a new time that we need a lot of self-reference and self-conscious of what we are doing. Be cool. What are our first instinct, right? What is telling me myself to doing if I can go for that activity of in myself is tell me that no, I don't feel good with do that action. Okay, myself it my self-reference is help me to be conscious that I don't need to pass through that process. Okay, I don't want to listen myself. Just I will learn in another process, and maybe a painful process, that I need to learn and I need to listen myself, right? To be more conscious of myself. This is a basic safe instinct. We have all of us we have it. It is from our animal side, and it is about to survivor. So imagine that if you are the time feel that you cannot be survived in this situation, that it is really extreme, that it is really hard to live as it, but your self-reference is telling you you can do it. So it is because those situations bring you more tools and you are ready to use it, right? But if yourself is then telling you no, no way that you go there, See, I give you more fear to do that actions. Don't do it, right? And we listen ourselves and we don't do it. And then we know by other that do that activity that have a lot of difficulties after that, right? And we say, huh, because I listen myself, I'm be safe now, right? And so we are safe now, we can put our energy in another topics and another topics that are more important for us and that are important our develop, our grow up, and are important for continue to move on in the next steps, right? So it is important that you start to listen yourself. As you start to listen yourself, you reduce that energy to survive. So you can work in another topics and put all that energy to survive in another topics that will help you to go up, to grow up, right? So it is time to start to listen ourselves. And now with us in crisis of being more conscious about ourselves, it is coming more situations that maybe not for all of us, but maybe we are someone's in the position that we could remember our lives, our past lives, and how we live them, and the blessings of having that knowledge is because from that reference of the life in the past, it is a remember a tool that we have in ourselves, but maybe we are not really conscious that we can use it, right? And maybe we think that we need to have a lot of experience, I need to go a lot of trainings, or we need to go to with a new master that tell us what is the road or the map to develop to grow up that tool, but we already live it in the past. So if you have some reference our past life or your past life, what was your role, what was the position that you live, or some clue of who you are or who you were in that life, it is a clue of the tool that you already have. So you just tell to yourself that you recognize that tool and you want to bring it to this life. uh, you can request guidance to the angels so they can tell you how will be the best form to bring back that tool, right? Remember that the guidance will be in the most benefit for you and for the around or us. So you be really covered for that side. Don't be free to request that guidance and that support from your angels or your connections, because they don't see the things as good or bad. They see the complete plan, and each side will give you the road or the map to pass those challenges to go to the same point. And then we, all of us, we are in the same process to return to the origin. So what will be the most important here? To live the experience. So if you already know the end of everything, that it is return to the origin, whatever origin that you believe, uh, it is more easy for you start to focus on live the experience and forget about to get that goal as easy, right? Maybe the time to develop the process to go to that origin could be years, a lot of years. So don't be stressed for do not have enough time to live it. The most important it is that you be focused in the now, you be focused in this present and live it, and what is tell you this reality, right? To start connect with yourself, as I tell you. So sometimes we think that design us to be as as fantastic with the movies tell us that should be. And they are having a lot of special effects like an action movie. Imagine that you see an action movie but you take out all the special effects. How will it look? More to the reality, right? More to the most near to the everyday that we have. So maybe it will not be as really attractive like an action movie without those special effects, right? We liked them because they help us to see it's in a big scenario what is happening. It is show us that okay, if I don't care about myself, maybe I need to pass for a lot of difficulties to recognize that I need to care by myself, right? So just when you leave a situation, try to take out those special effects. Maybe someone that was crying a lot, maybe someone that was speaking too loud, maybe someone that tell you that you cannot do it, maybe someone that tells you that do it because I tell you and yourself is telling you no. No, don't do it. It will be really painful for you if you go to that road. But out from you, it is telling you, do it, do it, do it because I tell you. Do it because you are someone else from this group. Do it and you be conscious that it is not the best for you. And how challenge will be to put that limit and say no. My by my by myself, by my convictions, by my own references tell me that I can don't do that, and I need to listen myself first that other tell me, because the other is telling you to do it that maybe because of the reference they don't see any problem in the future, but it is about their reference, right? About their life and their process. But from your side, your experience, yourself is telling you don't do it. Be more conscious about how your body, your feeling is telling you, because it is the right answer for that moment. And that is how you recover the tools that you bring from the past. Maybe it is a situation that you are living that remember you and an action that you live when you have 7, 8 years old, and for that moment it was really painful for you live that experience, right? It comes with other hurts for you that you just don't remember that you have those feelings and you feel that pain again, right? So when you do that connection and say okay, this situation is remember me something about my childhood, what happened there, how I feel it, what is the same feeling in this new one, with the knowledge that I already have, how I will solve the previous one. Okay, I solve it, that's it. Okay, that is the clue for solve this one. Wow, right? It looks without special effects, without miracles, without a lot of energy on the words. If we take out from our challenge those words that have a lot of energy in good or bad process, but have a lot of energy and give you a lot of punch for living, take those out. And how it looked now, it looks painful, it looks difficult, it looks at something that you cannot able to do it. Yes, I cannot able to do it. Okay, I request guidance for my angels, for my guidance guides that I connect, or whatever belief that I have, I request guidance to them so they can tell me if I need to contact someone that maybe give me a alternative therapy. Maybe I can connect with my psychologist to get a session therapy. I don't know. Maybe I can go and play with a new team, and maybe there I find someone that it is passing for the same situation, but they have a solution, and maybe that person could be my master, right? My teacher for that situation, and I can learn some tools from them. So we don't know how the answer come to us, but the answer will come to us all the time that we require it, all the time that we request, and we are uh, in the mood to practice it, because does not help us to request guidance if we are not to use it, if we are not to put it that in action. Because what happened sometimes, we request guidance and we say, imagine that I request guidance and the answer should be as it, right? With all those special effects, with all that romanticism, with all of that fantasy. And what happened if the guidance comes without that situation? If we are really conscious of ourselves, maybe we listen it and practice it, right? But the most near to reality will be that we are not looking for them. We are not put a focus in that solution because we think that we are know what is best for us and how should be the form that answer arrive to us. So how flexible I am regarding to that process, how flexible I am to reference to my context. I don't see the solution as I want, but I see a solution. Did I take it, or I continue in my position as a victim, or I continue in my position that I'm a child that I cannot do it that because I'm so little that I cannot do that extra effort required for pass through the next step. So this time that is arriving to us, it will be give us a lot of challenge, one after one after one after one, and if we are not flexible to adapt to them, it will really painful. It will really extra effort that our body needs to help us to continue that survival. So maybe, for example, if we are not conscious of what is happening, but it's important in order we continue in this existence, maybe our body take that responsibility, right? And after some years, we request and we asking why I'm have this illness, this chronic illness. Why? Because your body is a lover one that it tells you that if you are feeling that you're not able to do it by yourself, by your conscious, they can help you to do it. But the form that they help you, maybe it is not the easy one, the faster one, or the most convenient for yourself. Maybe that position that your body takes of continue your survival in this life, it is the one that will give you more challenge that you think that you need to live. So my recommendation is to start to listen to yourself, be more conscious about yourself, your soul, your mind, your body, how you refer to others, how do you respect you and put those limits to others ones, and how do you respect their limits, right? Because sometimes we learn a new thing and it is really good for us, and we trying to teach to others, and maybe we pass those limits from them. We don't try to give them pain, right? Yeah, we think that we help them, but each one have their own process. So if they don't request your help, don't do it. If they, after listen to you, don't do what you tell them they need to do, don't be bad with yourself. don't don't be responsible for the life of others. They have their own responsibilities, they have their own forms to learn, and they have their own challenge, that maybe the ones are bigger for you are the less for them. So we just need to focus in our lives, and that is the fun that we are going to play this challenge of life. Maybe we don't have the instructions, but each time we are going to have more tools to be conscious, or what are those tools, or what are the next steps to live it, right? So that is the message for today. So remember, be more flexible, adaptable, and out self-reference, right? Okay, if you have questions about how the reality is telling you, we can be in touch through my social medias. We schedule a meeting one-to-one through Zoom. The most important is that you get information back as you need it. So you can contact me as Miriam Catalina on Facebook and YouTube, and as Miriam Catalina 157 to Instagram and TikTok. Okay, and be prepared your question for the cards today to see what the angel is telling us. Okay, this is the one that appears. It is to meditate, and it tells us they require us to increase the practice of meditation, to be more in contact with the nature in order we get the message from them. Also, you start to get and be open to get messages from your angels, right? If you request guidance, be just with open ears, open eyes. Be conscious of what you're thinking, because in a lot of forms that they will be present in our context, in our environment, right? Maybe you request a guidance for a specific topic. Be more conscious to request guidance for specific things, because it will be more easy to connect with them. Not because they are not can give you the solution for general topics or an open question, but it is related of how to understand their answers back, and how you can be sure whatever they answer you back, it is their answer, right? Don't be feel feared about to connect to someone that is not correct, because we sometimes we have that feeling. But if we do a process as a code, for example, something to say that we are connected with them and we are getting the guidance, we sure that it is in benefit for myself and the lower ones around me. Lower ones, I mean to everybody around me, with the most benefit. I will get, of course, the answers that will not imply pain or will not imply damage to others, and will be as something as they tell you, if you don't do this, I will not give you more message, right? I mean, they will not connect as it, they will connect in the most benefit. So it will not be something that put you in risk. If you get a message that is putting you in risk, it is because you are not connected with them. you connect with something that maybe you have fear and you have really present, and it is just give you that answer because you are really anxious to get that answer, right? Remember, as I tell you, don't put in the good or bad um, extreme opposition, just in the middle without feeling as this needs to be as I think should be, right? Just be open to get the reference, but they will could contact you through maybe a page in a book that maybe you have, or maybe a message from a friend, a text in your mobile, or maybe a lyric of some song that you are listening in your mind. If you like the music and you start to listen some music in your mind and you request guidance, just be focused on what is the song that you listen in your mind and look for the lyric, and inside the lyric of that song it is the answer of that requirement. So they will contact you mm, in the in your environment as the best form that you can get that message, right? Maybe you was in your car and listen that specific song that it makes really quickly the match of the guidance that you require, or you get a message from exchange that maybe it is put in a paper and just someone gives you the paper, or maybe your boss gives you that advice that you don't tell them the situation, just it is appears like that, right? So those are signals of your guidance that you required. And also they tell you that you request, well, no request, it is to leave the peace in this moment and take out of the loud of the context of the chaos around to you. Maybe we maybe feel that it is a lot loud around to us, that is too high, that we cannot connect even our thoughts, right? That we don't feel connect with ourselves. So just remember to connect back with that peace. Meditate, meditate, do that meditation to be more in contact with yourself. Also you can connect with my video of meditation derivation to be more connect with the origin, whatever origin that you have. But it is a easy form to deliver and to space in your mind for new livings. So you connect with that video too if you like. If not, whatever meditation that you want to do, it is okay. Just be more conscious of yourself. Okay, we see us in another video. Bye bye.